Have you ever felt a presence when you are alone? A feeling that someone or something is watching? In our modern world, we are always connected. We are linked by invisible threads of data that cross oceans and continents. We send messages, share pictures, live our lives online. But what if something else was using these same threads? What if, hidden in the constant noise of our digital lives, there was a whisper, a voice from a place we cannot imagine? This is a story about that whisper. Quiet spaces between the ones and zeros. What happens when someone finally listens? The internet is like a vast, dark ocean. We swim near the surface, where everything is bright and familiar. We visit websites we know, we talk to people we trust, but deep below, currents we do not understand. Places that are dark and unexplored. A small group of young explorers decided to dive into this darkness. They were not looking for monsters. They were just curious. Sometimes curiosity leads to things stranger than monsters. They called themselves the Phantoms. A silly name chosen late one night. There were 4 of them: Leo, the leader; Maya, the coder; Sam, the analyst; Chloe, the strategist. They were just kids, lived in different cities, connected only by their keyboards. Leo was the first to notice it. His screen showed a map of global internet traffic. It looked like a web of glowing lines pulsing with light. But tonight, one spot was different. In a quiet, unused part of the network, a small light was blinking. It was not supposed to be there. Leo leaned closer to his monitor, his eyes narrowing. The light blinked in a strange rhythm. It was not random. It was a pattern, slow, steady, deliberate. It was like a heartbeat in a place that should have no life. He quickly sent a message to the rest of the group. "Anyone seeing this?" he typed. "Sector 7G. There's a ghost in the machine." Seconds later, Maya's reply appeared. "I see it. It's not a normal data packet. It has no origin address, no destination. It just is." Sam took the lead. He was the best at finding patterns in chaos. He loaded the captured signal into his analysis software. At first it looked like nonsense. A long string of random number symbols filled his screen. It was a digital wall. But Sam saw things differently. He looked at the spaces between them. He looked at the repetitions. He looked for a rhythm, a melody in the noise. He believed that all communication, no matter how strange, must have a structure. He just needed to find the key. He started by visualizing the data. He turned the signal into sounds. Clicks, soft tones repeating in a complex loop. Then he turned the signal into shapes. He saw a series of geometric forms twisting and turning. One shape in particular kept appearing. It was a complex spiral. As he zoomed in on the spiral, he saw that it was made of smaller spirals, and those smaller spirals were made of even smaller ones. It was a fractal, a pattern that repeats itself at every scale. It was beautiful and deeply strange. "Guys, you need to see this," Sam typed into their group chat. He shared his screen, showing the incredible fractal pattern. "This is not a computer glitch. This is not random noise. This is mathematics. Pure, complex mathematics." Maya's mind raced. Mathematics is the universal language. 2 + 2 = 4 everywhere in the universe. If something was communicating with math, it was trying to talk to anyone who was intelligent enough to listen. The spiral was not just a picture. It was a message. It was a greeting card from the stars. The realization hit them all at once. It was a profound and terrifying moment. This was not a hacker. This was not a government. The signal was too old, too clean, too perfectly mathematical. The patterns were based on universal constants, like the value of pi and the speed of light. These were numbers that any advanced civilization would discover. This signal was not just from somewhere else. It was from somewhere else. It was from beyond their world. They were staring at a message from aliens. The silence in their chat room was filled with a sense of awe and a heavy dose of fear. The weight of their secret started to crush them. What do you do when you know your world is not alone? Who do you tell? This question created the first real crack in their group. Leo, the leader, believed they had to tell someone. "This is too big for us," he argued. "We need to go to the government." Chloe, the strategist, strongly disagreed.
"Tell the government? Are you crazy?" she shot back.
"They will lock this down. They will take our computers, silence us. This secret will be buried in some underground bunker forever. The people have a right to know." Sam was caught in the middle.
"Can't we just wait?" he asked.
"We don't even understand the full message yet." While the team was arguing, they were not as alone as they thought. They are like digital sharks, always searching for the scent of blood in the water. A red flag had been raised in a quiet, windowless office deep inside a government building. Someone was now watching them. An analyst, a man who spent his life looking at data streams, noticed the spike. He traced the activity back to 4 separate locations. He found the digital fingerprints of the phantoms. The pressure on the team started to build in the real world. The invisible net was closing in. The team realized they were in a race. As the outside world closed in, the team focused back on the message. They had to understand the final part. Working together again, united by the new threat, they finally broke through the last layer of encryption. The warning was not what they expected. It was not about an invasion or a galactic war, it was a story. The aliens, a species that looked much like us, had faced a crisis. Their planet's core had become unstable. Their world was slowly dying from the inside out. They had tried everything to stop it, but their science had failed them. The message then shifted. It was a request, an invitation. They had technology to transmit consciousness itself. A mind sent as pure information across the stars. They wanted to send one mind to Earth, not a conqueror but a refugee, a single survivor, arriving as data, a blueprint integrated with human biology. They asked for a volunteer, they asked for a host. The message ended with a plea. Help us, let one of us live on. The choice is yours. The weight fell upon the 4 young hackers. The final choice split the group more deeply than ever before. This was about changing a human life forever. It was about changing the very definition of what it means to be human. Chloe was horrified.
Absolutely not.
This is insane. We can't play God. What if it's a lie? What if the alien mind takes over? This is how every scary movie starts. Leo, however, saw it differently. He felt a deep sense of responsibility. An entire civilization is asking for our help, and we're just going to turn off the computer? They are offering us their knowledge. They are offering us their history. This could be the next great step in human evolution. Think of what we could learn. To refuse would be an act of cosmic cruelty. Sam and Maya were torn. Maya, the coder, felt a strange connection to the aliens. She had spent weeks inside their language and their science. She felt like she knew them.
They are not monsters.
They are scientists. They are artists. To let that all turn to dust, it feels wrong. The time for debate was over. The Watchers were no longer just watching. They were moving in. Leo's father called him with a coded warning. A federal team had requested the physical location of his internet service. They had hours, maybe less. They had to make their final choice and act. The argument stopped. A quiet understanding filled the virtual room. They knew what they had to do. They would not let the government take this. They would not let the aliens' last hope be locked in a cage. They decided to honor the request. Hope over fear. But the question of who would be the host remained. In the end, the choice was simple. It had to be one of them. After a long, painful silence, Maya spoke. "I'll do it," she typed. "I understand the message best. I feel like I already know them. I am not afraid." No one argued. They all knew she was the right choice. She was the bridge. In a frantic rush, they worked together one last time. Sam configured the network to handle the massive data transfer. Leo created diversions, leading the government watchers down false paths to buy them more time. Chloe erased their digital tracks, preparing for their disappearance after this was all over, and Maya prepared herself. She sat in her dark room, a simple receiver device they had designed on her head, and waited. She was calm. She was ready to become humanity's first contact. Then, with a steady hand, she reached for the keyboard. The fate of 2 worlds rested on her final keystroke. She pressed enter.